Hi, thanks for joining me here on this YouTube channel. I'm Dave Palmer, and on this one, it's going to be kind of unique because I'm spending time on the YouTube channel telling you about a group that I have started over on Facebook that I think you might be interested in if you enjoy St. Thomas Aquinas and his natural philosophy and finding God in the course of your everyday life, which I think is very much what St. Thomas Aquinas was getting at in the Summa. That I think you might be interested in this group page, again, which is on Facebook, and I'll tell you all about it. In fact, I'll give you some examples of what it's all about during the course of this video here. All right, it's called Away a Day, because what you do is each day, or as often as you can, you try to find a way in which you see God working in the world, God manifest in the world through his creatures. Okay, and it can be any kind of creature that you observe during that particular day. So, as it says here, you find an interesting creature during the course of your day, a tree, a plant, a flower, a spider, a bird, a dog, anything. It could be even a human being. But I tend to prefer it be an irrational creature because human beings, I think our greatness kind of speaks for itself. We're pretty awesome. But these other creatures are pretty cool as well. All right. And then the key here is you connect it to the Creator. Okay. So you're not just, saying, oh, wow, that's a beautiful sunrise, or wow, look at that interesting, bug. But what is its purpose? How does it contribute to the overall picture of divine providence, of the governance of the world? How is God using this particular creature to manifest his greatness? And then you share it on that page with everybody else. So I'll give you a few examples, and then I invite you to get over to Facebook and join the group. And then you don't have to do it every day, but share some of the experiences that you have. I'm doing it every day, but then again, I'm the creator of the site, so it may be more than you can handle, or perhaps you may want to do it every day. All right, this whole idea comes from this quote from the Summa Theologia, which I have shared quite a few times on this page, but let me just read it real quickly because it ties in so well to what we're doing with this Facebook group, okay? The distinction in multitude of things comes from the intention of the first agent, who is God, for he brought things into being in order that his goodness might be communicated to creatures and be represented by them, and because his goodness could not be adequately represented by one creature alone, he produced many and diverse creatures, that what was wanting to one in the representation of the divine goodness might be supplied by another. For goodness, which in God is simple and uniform, in creatures is manifold and divided, and hence the whole universe together participates the divine goodness more perfectly and represents it better than any single creature whatever. Okay, that is just such an amazing quote from the Summa. And so here's how it kind of plays out in a practical sense, okay? So every day I make a concerted effort to find some creature that I find amazing. I do a little bit of research on it, and then I see how it plays into the big picture of divine providence, okay? So here's just in the last 7 days, the creatures that I have found. Starting off with this gecko I saw in the bathroom of my office, okay? Geckos are pretty amazing lizards, but did you know that there are 4,675 species of lizards in the world, and there are 1,850 species of geckos? Okay, so what does that say? God is really creative, okay, because he could have had one gecko or 10 geckos, but almost 2,000 species of geckos, and they're amazing creatures. They store fat in their tails. They can stick to anything, except the only thing they don't stick to is Teflon. Okay, so they have amazing little hands that are able to basically climb anything. Okay, so you think of like Spider-Man and all these things that we have found in movies where people are climbing on buildings and walls. Well, it's pretty much imitating creatures like the gecko that are able to do that, right? So that was one of the creatures that I saw today. And again, amazing creature that God created. They also eat flies and bugs, and so they help, get rid of some of the things that are more kind of pesty for us. I saw this sunflower. I saw sunflowers quite a few times the last week, every time I saw them, I was driving 70 miles per hour down the freeway, and I couldn't stop without being quite dangerous. But finally, I saw one a couple of days ago on a road where I could pull off. So I snapped this picture, did a little bit of research. Did you know, of course, sunflowers are flowers. 391,000 species of flowers in the world. Okay, I'll show you another one here in just a moment. 391,000 species. Isn't that amazing? The sunflower, as you may know, tracks the sun, okay, hence its name, and it kind of looks like a sun, right? Did you also know that the tallest sunflower ever was 30 feet tall? We get the sunflower seeds, we get sunflower oil. Actually, when the sunflower dies, you can use the sunflower, and they've used to do this as like a scrubbing agent, like when you're showering. And so God not only made the sunflower beautiful, but also gave it a lot of practical reasons why they're very helpful to us. Here's another flower. I actually took this one, the picture of this one, outside my house, and my wife has this in a little bucket in the front of our house, a pot, I guess I should say. This is called an impatiens. Again, really beautiful. The flowers of plants are used as a reproductive agent. Okay, they're part of the reproductive anatomy, I guess you could say, of a plant. But how amazing that not only does it serve a purpose for the plant, but God also allows it to be so beautiful. Okay, can you imagine a world without flowers? How boring that would be, and the fact that He almost gave us 400,000 species of them. All right, I caught a picture of this little guy on my garage door. Okay, it's called a jumping spider, and there are 3,500 species of spiders just in the United States. Isn't that amazing? 3,500 species just in the United States. Do you know how many of those are venomous? Only 3. So almost all spiders are harmless to us. Only a few of them are venomous. And it's the black widow, the brown recluse, and then there's something called a hobo spider, which I was not familiar with, okay? Most of those are very reclusive. You don't see them very often, okay? The brown recluse gets its name because it is reclusive. Most spiders are harmless. They also do a lot of good in eating flies and eating pests, and then the webs that they make are amazing. This particular spider is called a jumping spider. They hop, okay? So God in His creativity created all these different spiders to be different in just some different way. And the more we look into it, we see that they have great purpose and they fit into the big picture so beautifully. All right, so that's 4 of them. I got a few more to show you. I went out last Saturday on my front porch, and I was drinking a cup of coffee, and I knew I wanted to have, some way-a-day creature, right? This fly landed on my coffee cup. It's almost like he was like, please, feature me today. So I was like, okay, you're making it kind of easy on me. So I took a picture of this fly, and flies are amazing. They got those compound eyes, and, they also help in the decomposition process. Not to get too gross, but they even, as you might know, eat poo. They lay their eggs on feces, and then the eggs, hatch or whatever. And then you got like the maggots or the larvae that eat away at the poo. I mean, how else are you going to get rid of this stuff, right? Decomposing bodies of animals and plants that have to be gotten rid of. The flies are very important, and then they can travel around so quickly and get to all of it. Amazing. And there's a lot of species of flies as well, so they serve a very, very important purpose. All right, so a couple more. The next one we'll look at is the dragonfly. Dragonflies are amazingly beautiful. They're hard to take a picture of. Can you even see it, that blue dragonfly there? One of the things you may not know about dragonflies is that they eat mosquitoes. A single dragonfly could eat up to 100 mosquitoes a day. Can you imagine if we didn't have dragonflies, how many mosquitoes would be out there, and the disease and the bites and all that kind of stuff? Very important that we have dragonflies. They also, just the way they fly, and even like defense engineers have looked at their flight pattern and the way they move to develop helicopters and planes because they're so amazingly designed. All right, and the last one is the hated cockroach. Okay, most people hate cockroaches. I don't hate cockroaches. I think they're kind of cool. I took this picture at our office. That's the carpet of our studio where I work at a radio station. And cockroaches are pretty amazing. You know, they are natural recyclers, I guess you could say. They just eat anything. Okay, so if there's a banana peel or a pizza or a dead animal, they will eat it. Okay, so we got to get rid of this stuff. And so the cockroach is sort of a very important purpose. You've probably heard they can live without their head for several days. Their legs are very intricate and detailed and pretty cool. And so the cockroach, if we didn't have cockroaches, that would be a problem for the ecosystem or that in which we live. And so all of these creatures are really important. And so when you start doing away a day, you begin to look at the world differently, because rather than just saying, oh, okay, there's another bird or, there's a spider, you start to ask yourself, what purpose does this play in the big picture? Why did God create dragonflies? Why did God create, different kinds of flowers or geckos or that kind of thing? All right, and with all those species, we're never going to run out. You could do 10 of these a day and live to be 500 years old, and you're never going to run out of creatures. There's always something. So I challenge you to go over to that Facebook group page, Away a Day, and join it. And you don't have to do it every day, but start to live more deliberately in finding creatures in your everyday life, connecting it to God and His providence and His governance. And then, if you feel like it, share with others what you have found in your research. Okay, so that's going to do it. Thanks for watching. This is Dave Palmer on the YouTube channel telling you about the Facebook group page, which is called Away a Day. And if you have a hard time finding it, just comment below and I will send you the link to join the page. Okay? Thanks. God bless you.